Hello, this is David Lorimer here. Today I'm going to talk a bit about loss, and this is from a book that I've been reading, which you can see here, called Portals into Deep Imagination, Celtic Mythology, Nature's Year, and the Quest for the Soul. So I'm on the period, obviously, of the spring, and so we're talking about blackbirds and bird song, which we can hear very clearly around here, and maybe you can where you are as well. But we all experience loss at different phases of our life. And this is what this book has to say. It's page 281. We're on a trajectory of growth in life, and the inevitability of loss is there from the beginning. From our first breath to our last, growth and loss sit side by side. We lose youthfulness to gain the freedom of adulthood and find inspiration in letting go of effort. The loss of dignity, status, relationship, place or purpose, and faith are among the many other forms of loss. Wherever we turn in life, there's the possibility for loss. While loss implies forever, some losses are cyclical, as I said in my last post, as with the seasons, when we lament the dying of summer or temporary losses occur in other ways. The lack of confidence when trying something new, for example, mostly returns when we gain mastery of that thing. Or memory eventually yields in moments of forgetfulness, though not always. From loss, and I think this is important, we learn the value of things, and the intensity of loss is the measure of value. The more we value something or someone, it may be a tree, the greater the feeling of loss is likely to be. As we know too soon, everything is lost, and our own lives fall away into mystery. I love that, fall away into mystery. And yet the secret here is letting go at that moment, and then this sense of loss will be transcended, I think. Strangely, there are many times when loss brings us freedom. In this case, loss is a gift. The loss of a job may open the gate to a new adventure, just as the loss of a relationship may eventually bring the freedom of meeting someone new. For something to grow, something must die, though again not always. And here's a very good passage, I think, on the art of living with loss. The art of living with loss is first to allow ourselves to live the experience of it until its wave of sadness comes to rest finally. Until its wave of sadness comes to rest finally. Just think about that. This means being gentle with ourselves while knowing that rest comes when it is ready, rather than when we want it. You'll recognize that. The grief that often comes with loss is like a river which ambles on its own journey, in its own time. The risk is sometimes to want to quicken the process and to intervene in some way to rid ourselves of the feeling of loss, but we actually have to sit in it while it's there. This is partly what the loss of sadness, this is a book referred to, cautions us against. The art of living with loss is also to let go of the expectation of regaining something, as this feeds a longing which keeps the wound of loss open. Let me just read that again. The art of living with loss is also to let go of the expectation of regaining something, as this feeds a longing which keeps the wound of loss open. In other words, trying to get back to before the loss happened. The wisdom of the river is to follow its twists and turns to its destination without bringing anything to it. After all, the river knows about loss in its one-way journey from the mountain to the sea. It also knows about our unique loss. And so it's a matter of being in the flow, even when it's uncomfortable. And then eventually this sense of loss will dissipate and new opportunities will open up. Thanks for listening.